From the Daily Word for Thursday, May 29th, 2025. I forgive and I am forgiven. The greatest gift I can give myself is forgiveness, because I understand as long as I am holding on to unforgiving thoughts, I am in a prison of my own making. I free myself from my burdens and choose to see the Christ in myself and all others. I am willing to release the heaviness in my heart. I pray for strength to move beyond the pain and hurt I have been carrying. As I let go of resentments and grievances that weigh me down, I make room for peace. With an open heart, I extend forgiveness. I am open to the healing power of forgiveness and willing to forgive myself for my past mistakes, releasing guilt, shame, and regret. Through the power of the Christ within, frees me and clears my mind as it heals my heart. For you, O Lord, are good and forgiving, abounding in steadfast love to all who call on you. Psalms 86:5. Forgiveness. It seems so simple, and yet it's sometimes difficult to access, isn't it? There are times when I look around and I see all the ways and all the power of unforgiveness happening in the world out there, all the ways it can rise up in each of us. And I think about my own journey to forgiveness, my own journey to forgiveness of myself, but a bigger journey to forgiveness of others. You see, when I was a child, my stepfather trafficked me, and he was very powerful in the church. And so I got sober and I began my journey with Unity, and I began to feel all of this healing. And yet there was this peace that wasn't free. There was this peace that I kept saying, why can't I access that? And what I realized was I was holding on to so much unforgiveness around my stepfather. Now, he had long passed away, and yet I still carried this prison around me. I locked myself in this cage of unforgiveness, not on purpose. It happens when you feel so hurt. And yet I wanted to feel that Christ presence within. I wanted to feel that connection. But more importantly, as I was learning these Unity principles and really believing that the Christ presence is in all of us, I needed to be able to access seeing that the Christ presence had also been present in my stepfather, even if I couldn't see it, even if he wasn't living from that presence, it was there. And so I knew that I couldn't force myself to mentally forgive. And so I started to do the practice of an affirmation. And the affirmation was, forgiveness empowers me and brings me freedom. So every time I would have one of those thoughts, one of those things that would start to weigh me down, or I'd feel that prison door start to close in around me, I would say that affirmation. You see, because without that, I would become angry. I would lash out at people around me because I held this prison feeling within me. I wasn't free. You know, Charles Fillmore in The Revealing Word defines forgiveness as a process of giving up the false for the true. Well, the false was that my stepfather didn't have the Christ presence in him. He was some exception to that rule, and somehow I could access it. And until I could get to the place of forgiving him and seeing that he too had that Christ presence and wasn't living it out, I couldn't access it fully within me. And so I kept doing this affirmation and kept doing the affirmation and kept practicing. And I started to notice little changes. But then one day as I was driving down the road, unbeknownst to me, something happened. I had a moment and the clarity came in. And like a flash, everything opened up in me. My chest felt warm and I felt the forgiveness as it released. And I could see and feel that Christ presence. in my stepfather, and I was free.